All right, my government people, AP and regular. By the way, as I was telling you, AP and regular are going to be taught the exact same through this first unit called demographics. So let's get going. All right, 2016, what happened? We are a democracy. What is a democracy? Democracy, what is it? Majority rule? Well, what happened? Did we have a president elected by the majority? No, we did not. President Trump got 46% of the vote. If Clinton would have won, would she have been elected by the majority? No, she wouldn't have. Almost 6% of people didn't want to vote for Trump or Clinton. President Trump lost the popular vote by over 2.8 million votes. He was beat, he lost by about 2.1% to Hillary Clinton. So, how did he become president? Well, he became president because of the Electoral College. He won the Electoral College with 306 votes to Clinton's 232. You guys are going to become experts on the Electoral College before the presidential election, which is the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November, which this year is November 3rd. All right, I have minus 46 plus 46 because the difference, how President Trump became president, boiled down to 3 states and their electoral votes. Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. These are 3 states the Democrats thought they were going to win, that a lot of people, including President Trump, probably thought Clinton was going to win, but she did not win. President Trump won. And those 46 electoral votes, which he won out of a country that has over 325 million people, he won the presidency by 102,000 votes in those 3 states. So, close election. What is going to happen in 2020? All right, 2020, President Trump, at this point, we have a long ways to go, but he has some serious concerns about getting reelected. Here are some polls. Fox News has him behind Joe Biden by 8 points. CBS has him behind by 10 points. And Ipsos Reuters has him behind by 9 points. Now, you may say, wait, in 2016 all the polls were wrong. Yes, all the polls were wrong. Most of them were wrong. Most of them thought Clinton was going to win, but they were within the margin of error. What is the margin of error? Here are the margins of errors of these 3 polls. Let's take the Fox poll. Plus or minus 3%. That means this number could be 46, and it could be 52. This number could be 44, or it could be 38. Oh my God, I don't teach math. All right, so the significance is these are outside the margin of error. This was as of July, in mid to late July, these 3 polls. We're going to talk more about polls later. How are we doing? I'm going to check just to make sure we are recording okay, all right? Are we recording okay? We are. Oh, like another bonehead thing, I forgot to start my timer because, and you guys are going to be happy about this, I can only record for half-hour increments. All right, what other information? Okay, now, is this bad news for President Trump? Does this matter to President Trump? Does the president get elected by the country as a whole nationally? And the answer is no, because of the Electoral College, which I'm going to teach you. But the big states were, which ones? Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Remember those? All right, what's going on in Pennsylvania? President Trump is currently down by 9 points. Wisconsin, he is down by 10 points. Michigan, he is down by 12 points. President Trump won Arizona in 2016, I believe by 2%. I'll have to look that up. He is, these are within the margin of error of almost 4, so that's basically a statistical tie. This is, all right. Concerns. What's going on? What's going on? Well, one thing that is hurting President Trump is public perception of his treatment of handling of the coronavirus. He has some upside down numbers on that in some key states. Arizona, 35 to 60, approve, disapprove. Florida and Michigan. It's been a big issue in the news lately, obviously. As I'm sitting here in an empty class, without you guys able to ask any questions. Hi, this drives me crazy. Another big issue that's been going on, George Floyd and the killing in Minneapolis and the subsequent riots, protests, vandalism, the whole thing that's going on in Oregon with clashes outside the federal buildings. All right, Arizona, Florida, Michigan. Similar upside down polling in terms of how he is handling that issue. This has to be concerning to the Trump campaign. In February, 40% of the country, now remember we were getting into the coronavirus then, but it was in the early stages. 40% thought we were on the right track. That number has dropped to 19% thinks that we are on the right track. And if you look back in history, there were similar times when those numbers were that low. One was in 1992 when Bush Sr. was not reelected for a second term. Another one was in 1980 when Jimmy Carter was not elected for a second term. So, this is going to be a super interesting election. But we are going to get into the weeds behind these numbers. We are going to really find out what's going on. We are going to talk about, now, my AP guys, I want you to write this down. My regular government guys, you don't have to because you're not going to be doing these readings. But we are talking about, this first lesson is about political beliefs, what you believe, and political behaviors, which basically boils down mostly to, do you vote? Other ways to participate: money, giving money to campaigns, protesting, civil disobedience. I don't know, I always think about this. You'll find this on the quarter. Do you have a quarter handy? I should have a quarter handy. Wait, I'm going to come back. A quarter. A quarter. All right. You probably can't see this, but here is a quarter, and the quarter says, right here at the bottom on the back, E pluribus unum. E pluribus. Can you see it? No, it's not going to come into focus, is it? E pluribus unum. Check it out on your own quarter. All right. By the way, I'm going to touch this so it doesn't shut off. It means out of many, one. Out of many, one. The famous melting pot. People come from all over the world and they melt into a generic, homogeneous America full of Americans. When it comes to politics, are we just a bunch of Americans? Well, we're going to talk about demographics. Demographics are population characteristics, how as they relate to elections and voting and politics. Demographics. Demo means people, graphics, data. Data on people. Data on people. The best source of this is the census. What is the census? Who has heard of the census? Ah, you've heard of the census. What is the census? Every 10 years, we count every American. We're going to go through a huge effort among this pandemic to count everybody. It is a census year, every 10 years. We count everybody for the purpose of deciding how many members in the House of Representatives each state gets. We have 9. After this count, I bet we get a 10th. New York State has been losing one every 10 years. Illinois has been losing one every 10 years. I think we're going to get another one. But in addition to answering questions about, hey, just counting you, they also asked questions of a certain number of people. I, for some bizarre reason, happen to be one of them. This guy comes to my house, this little old guy with a cane, like every 3 years, and sits down and asks me stuff like, do you have any kids? Are they in college? Do you, how many rooms do you have in your house? How many toilets? He asks me all these questions. Nice guy. I sit there, make him a cup of coffee, answer all of his questions. They get lots of data on me. They get lots of data on Americans. And they get a picture of what America looks like. I am about to sneeze. All right, what is this? Write this down in your notes. This is what kind of setting? Starting with a U. What's the word I'm thinking of? Urban, an urban setting. Urban setting, cities. Who lives there? What are the people going to look like there? Is it going to be more diverse? Are there going to be more kids? What about this? Oh, I hate this word. I can never say this word. It's like marbles in my mouth. I hate this word. Rural. Would you see a young African American man on this street, on this road? If so, would he be running with people chasing after him with shotguns? Less diverse? Older? What about these guys? These are the birds, right? Who lives here? A little bit more money, maybe? A little bit whiter? Better educated? Boy, this is where the fight is. This is where the fight is in these elections. Wait, I'm going to show you some data. All right. Get ready to pause this and go to this link and watch this video. Hold on, I'm going to show you where it is in your Google Classroom. All right. So go into Google Classroom. Hold on. All right, everybody see it? Demographics lesson. I have some reference materials for the demographics PowerPoint. Let me open that up. And here it is, Inner City Spelling Bee. So, pause this video, open up another tab, watch that video, and get back to me. All right, sup you? Sorry. Okay, these two guys, are they going to vote? What do you think? Are they going to vote? Equal probability that both are going to vote, or do you think one might more likely vote than the other? And how are they going to vote? Are they going to vote Democrat or Republican? I'm going to teach you the answers to this. All right, so go to Ian left, or if you, because we're online, everybody's going to do this online, all right? So go to the first slide in your online Ian, and the topic is going to be demographics. And what I want you to write down are examples of population characteristics that impact voting. Think about them. Population characteristics. You see somebody, you just look at me, what am I? You can say it. Old, white guy, right? Population characteristics that impact voting in one of two ways. Is a person going to vote? Does that demographic make a difference in whether they will vote or not? Or how will they vote? All right? I'm going to give you one. I'm going to model one. One obviously is age. Does age make a difference? Do old people vote more than young people? I will show you some shocking data. Now, I want you to identify 4 more if you can. 4 more demographic characteristics. Where do I want you to put them? Hold on. I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so in your Ian, look into start of class. Everybody see start of class? Right here. You're going to open that up. You're going to be able to make a copy of this. You're going to be able to make a copy. Now when you open it up, so put your name, put your period, and this is Ian's left one. So you're going to put demographics here and make your list. I've already given you one, and that is what? Age, right? Age. So come up with 4 more of them for me. Age. Things that make a difference as to whether somebody will vote and how they will vote. All right? Now, when you're done with this, because when you type, it will automatically save. You can just close this. You do not have to submit. In fact, please do not submit. All right? When you go back onto your classwork, it will ask you to submit. Just ignore that. All right? Do not submit. Leave it unsubmitted. If you accidentally have submitted, that's okay. Before you add another slide in, just go and click unsubmit. All right? And then in about a month or 2, I'll pull these all up and I'll have you all submit them, and then I will grade them then. All right? Wow! Check it out. We are at the end of video 1 on my class. Cool? All right.